finally, we've had just a continuation of technological change. We tend to think that maybe some of the real big things in the world happened some time ago. We've been flying airplanes now for 100 years. The railroads were invented back in the 19th century. The gasoline engine was invented in the late 19th century. But think about some of the things that have happened just in the past 60 years, even less than that. The first time I ever made a telephone call from the United States to Japan was in the summer of 1970. I remember it vividly because I was calling my girlfriend. It worked out, by the way. It was a good telephone call. We've been married now for 35 years. 36 years. So she's off in Japan. I'm in the United States, and I really feel I need to talk to her. You call the operator. You call the local operator, and you say, I want to place a call to Japan. The local operator transfers you to the international operator, probably in some place like New York back then. The international operator gets the information, the country, the phone number, the name of the person you're trying to reach. And she says, hang up, and I'll call you back. And so you hang up the phone, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. 15 minutes later, she called back. And at that point, she's talking to the operator in Tokyo. The operator in Tokyo is dialing the call to, and the call goes through. At that point, it was $10 for the first 3 minutes and $3 for each minute thereafter. My phone call cost me $40, and I was a college student. I had a summer internship that was paying me $85 a week. So it was almost half of my weekly pay to make that phone call to Japan. We now, since we now have in-laws in Japan, we have a calling plan with our long-distance provider, and I think we're paying 7 cents a minute. And of course, if you do email, the marginal cost is zero because you simply pay a monthly fee to be connected to the internet. So anyway, that's one form of technical change. One other example I'll give you since we're in New York is containers. Containerization, which has dramatically driven a part of a set of technological changes, driving down the cost of transportation. You know, hard to believe that New York City, Manhattan, was one of the leading ports in the United States until the 1950s. Right? Look at photographs of Manhattan from 50 years ago, and all of along the Hudson and around the tip up the East River is covered with docks. Can you imagine this, coming in and unloading a ship piece by piece and putting it into trucks to be driven down New York City streets? Talk about a high-cost operation. And then along come containers in the late 1950s, 1960s, and of course, the whole operation moves across the river to Port Newark, which is now one of the largest ports in the United States. And the speed and cost at which merchandise can be handled, taking it on and off of ships, has been dramatically reduced. So that I think on average today, the transportation cost of imported products is now down to something like only 5% of the total cost, retail value of things that you buy. A really minimal amount. Less than half of what it was even 30 or 40 years ago.